far, under the heading of broaching, we have discussed definition of broaching and principle of broaching, and next we classify various broaching operations, and next described about various teeth on the broach tool and its nomenclature and classification of various broaches. Next we discussed about broaching materials and various types of broaching machines and working principle of them. Now we discuss applications of broaching, various applications of broaching. The operation of broaching was originally developed for machining small internal surfaces such as keyway in a small diameter, which is relatively difficult for slaughter. Broaching is widely used in present day industry for machining a large variety of jobs which are formally milled or shaped. Internal broaching is used for machining and sizing of round holes, square, hexagonal and many other shapes of holes. Internal keyways, splines and gears are easily produced by broaching. External surface broaching is increasingly used in mass production as an alternative to milling. It can machine plain or complex shapes easily and economically. These are some of the applications. Broaching, it is surface broaching, it is external broaching of the surfaces, it is internal broaching of a round hole, it is broaching of keyway, it is broaching of internal broaching of splines. Now we discuss the advantages of broaching machines, broaching operation when compared with other machining process. Broaching is faster than other machining operations as it is one pass operation. So rate of production is more as it passes one time through the work for completing it. It has a long life than other cutting tools. In mass production, the tool cost per workpiece is low. Better surface finish is possible, does not require highly skilled operator as feed is inbuilt, cutting speed, feed is inbuilt in the tool. The following are the disadvantages of broaching. It is not economical for small quantity production because cost of the broach is high. Tool grinding is difficult and expensive because every teeth on the broach has its own dimensions. Very light and delicate jobs cannot be broached easily. It is not suitable to machine a surface having obstruction. Now we discuss about the specifications of a broaching machine. To select a broaching machine, the following specification need to be known. First one is length of stroke, second one is broaching force, type of drive and rate of speeds and feeds. So far, under the heading of broaching, we have discussed definition of broaching and principle of broaching, and next we classify various broaching operations, and next described about various teeth on the broach tool and its nomenclature and classification of various broaches. Next we discussed about broaching materials and various types of broaching machines and working principle of them, and next various applications like keyway cutting, surface broaching, spline broaching, hole broaching, and we discussed about advantages and disadvantages of broaching compared to other machining operations. And finally, we have discussed about what are the specifications required to select a broaching machine. Thank you. We will meet again.
Hello students, now in this session we are going to discuss the topic of mechanical working of metals, which is a part in workshop technology. It is one of the important basic manufacturing technique in the field of mechanical engineering. Mechanical working of metals are broadly classified as hot working and cold working based on working temperature. In hot working, we are going to discuss various techniques such as hot rolling, hot extrusion, hot forging, hot precising, hot reeling and hot spinning. In cold working, we are going to discuss various techniques such as cold drawing, cold spinning, cold extrusion and cold squeezing. Now let us discuss all the processes in detail. Mechanical working of metals are classified as hot rolling and cold rolling based on the recrystallization temperature. In this figure, we have seen some of the metal forming techniques such as forging, rolling, wire drawing, extrusion, deep drawing, stitch forming, bending, shearing. The metal forming can be defined as the process in which desired size and shape are obtained through plastic deformation of materials, and the type of loading may be tensile, compressive, bending, shearing or a combination of these. Hot working. The plastic deformation of metal above recrystallization temperature is called hot working. The temperature is not too high or not too low, but it is sufficient to give rise to new grain growth. In this process, the deformation and recrystallization takes place simultaneously along with a refined uniform new grain structure. Advantages and disadvantages. Advantages. In this process, the deformation is extensively possible because of increased plasticity. Second point, intermediate annealing is not required because of no stain hardening. Third point, power requirement for the process are less. Fourth point, mechanical properties such as toughness, ductility, elongation and reduction in area are improved due to grain refinement. Fifth point, the porosity is largely eliminated and the impurities are distributed uniformly. Sixth point, it can be on most of the metals because it is rapid and economical process. Disadvantages, tooling and handling cost are high. Second point, surface finish is poor due to the scale formation. Third point, close dimensional tolerances cannot be maintained due to the heating of working condition. Fourth point, the life of the tool is less as they have to work at higher temperatures for longer time. The process below recrystallization temperature is called cold working and it is carried out at room temperature. Cold working should be followed by annealing to relieve internal stresses and to increase ductility, and at the same time the process increases yield strength, tensile strength and hardness. Hot working processes are followed by cold working processes for a good surface finish. Advantages and disadvantages. Advantages: surface finish is improved, and close tolerances can be maintained. Second point, friction increases the workload and thus more force and energy is required for the process. Third point, no surface oxidation or scaling results. Fourth point, strength and hardness are increased. Disadvantages: it requires high power. Second point, suitable for only ductile materials. Annealing is necessary for the metal for its uniform crystal structure and properties, and process is limited to small size components, that is less than 25 mm diameter. Hot working versus cold working. Now we will discuss the differences between hot working and cold working. The main difference is, in hot working the process is carried out above recrystallization temperature, and in cold working the process is carried out below recrystallization temperature. Deformation is much more in hot working and deformation is less in cold working. Annealing is not required due to the new grain refinement, and in cold working annealing is required due to strain hardening. Fourth point, surface finish is poor due to the scale formation, and in cold working smoother surface finish is possible. Fifth point, mechanical properties are improved due to the new grain refinement. Strength and hardness are increased and ductility is lowered. Sixth point, tooling cost is high, tooling cost is low, power requirement for the process are less, power requirement for the process are more. Eighth point, close dimensional tolerances cannot be maintained, close dimensional tolerances can be maintained. Now we will discuss some of the hot working and cold working processes are like this. Hot working: number 1 hot rolling, number 2 hot extrusion, number 3 hot forging, number 4 hot precising, 5th hot reeling, number 6th hot spinning, number 7 hot drawing. In cold working, number 1 cold rolling, number 2 cold drawing, number 3 cold spinning, number 4 cold extrusion, number 5 cold squeezing. Hot rolling. Hot rolling comes under the category of hot working process. It is most efficient method of reducing cross sectional area of larger sections to smaller sections. It is mainly used in hot rolling mills. Material is used mainly in construction of structural work. The plastic deformation of metal takes place as it passes through a pair of rolls rotating in opposite direction. The deformation is due to squeezing action of rolls. Its cross section is reduced with the increase in its length. The process is more economical than forging and requires less power. Rolls are made of cast iron and steel and are mounted on cast iron housing. The metal is processed to several times in the rolling mills to get the required shape and the size of the metal. It is used to produce bars, plates, sheets and other structural sections like I-beam, channel section, L section, T section, etc. I section, C section, L section, T section of different cross sections. The rolling mills are classified as number 1, 2 high rolling mill, second 3 high rolling mill and 3 4 high rolling mills. In 2 high rolling mills, the figure shows 2 rolls. These are the 2 rolls rotating in opposite direction with high speed, and these rolls are provided grooves of different cross sections, and the direction of flow of material is like this, or these rollers also can be reversed, and it takes several passes to reduce the cross section. And the cross section is reduced like this, and these are the 2 rollers rotating in opposite direction. Now these are the 2 rollers rotating in opposite direction. This roller is rotating in this and this roller is rotating in this direction. Now the rod is fed towards the rollers, and as and when the diameter decreases, it squeezes and the reduced cross section rod is coming in other direction. Now this is the original cross section and this is the reduced cross section of the same rod. And next is 3 high mills. 3 high mill consists of 3 rollers, that is, with the help of 3 rollers we can pass the material twice as shown in the figure. It is like this, one on the other, and the top roller and the bottom roller rotating in the same direction, and the middle roller is rotating in opposite direction. The material is being rolled between the middle roller and the bottom roller in one direction, and the top roller and middle roller in another direction. And this is the 3 roll mill. This is the 1 roll, second roll, third roll. You see in this figure, these rollers are rotating in the same direction, this one and top one, and the middle one is rotating in opposite direction. And now the 2 rods are fed towards the 2 rollers at the same time, and the reduction in area, that is reduced cross section, is coming at the end of the 2 rollers. And next is 4 high mills. Due to the high elevated working temperatures, these rollers are going to be broken frequently. To avoid the rolling cost, we are provided small, that is C and D rollers are working rollers, which is supported by 2 backup rollers, and this mill is mainly used to produce sheets of same cross sectional area. That is, here also the direction is in the same, and because of the back working rollers, we can easily change the working rollers as and when it requires without changing the backup rollers. And in this figure there are 10 steps to reduce big square billet of 100 into 100 of 1 meter length to round bar or square bar in rolling mills. This is the first figure, which is 100 and 100 of one length. It is reduced to in first rolling one pass, and again it is further reduced to second pass, third pass, fourth pass, fifth pass, sixth pass, seventh pass, eighth, ninth and 10th. That is, if you want round section, the cross section is round, and if you want square, square. This is the generally it took 10 passes for a big square billet of size 100 into 100 square of 1 meter length to a small round bars to or square bars in regular rolling mills. These materials are mainly used in construction materials in building construction. Next is hot extrusion. Extrusion is the process by which a block of material is placed in a container for the reduction of its cross section by forcing through a ram of high pressure. Hot extrusion is used to produce long lengths with the desired cross section, which is very difficult by any other process. It is used to produce cylindrical bars or hollow tubes, but shapes of irregular cross sections may be produced. Aluminium, nickel and other alloys are used at elevated temperatures. Advantages: number 1, the reduction is around 40:1 can be achieved. Number 2, a very complex shapes can be produced. Number 3, forces involved are compressive, relatively brittle material can be extruded, which would not be possible with other methods. Number 4, excellent dimensional tolerances can be maintained along with a very high surface finish. Disadvantages: it creates inhomogeneous deformation condition, that is, the reduction should be very large, due to that the deformation is inhomogeneous. Extrusion of steel requires high pressure and temperature. Heat generated during extrusion may cause surface cracks. Methods of extrusion: direct extrusion, indirect extrusion, tube extrusion, impact extrusion. Direct extrusion. Direct extrusion figure shows this is the heated billet placed in a container. This is the container. Container, one end ram is provided and another end die is provided of required shape. We are going to place the heated billet inside the container, and ram is provided, and ram is pressed to a pressure, and the heated billet gives a extruded rod through a die, whatever the cross section it is. So this is the direct extrusion, and the ram and the billet is in the same direction, and the die holder gives a rigid grip for the die, because the billet is very heated, so that the friction, sometimes the friction may be causes. Now this is the container. This portion is heated billet placed inside the container, and this is the die, and this is the die holder. Now the ram is pressed with a high pressure, and it touches the billet, and now the extruded rod portion is coming through the die as per the required cross section. This is the hardened die. And the extruded rod and ram is moving in the same direction. Direct extrusion, during the operation container and die are stationary and the heated billet moves relative to the container. This causes high frictional force requiring the use of high ram pressure, etc. Indirect extrusion. Indirect extrusion is the same as the direct extrusion, but here the container is closed one end and the heated billet is placed inside the container and the ram is provided with a die and the ram is pressed towards the heated billet and extruded rod is coming in the opposite direction to the ram. So much high pressure is required for this indirect extrusion because of the material is coming out inside the ram. Again this is the container is closed with the plate and again this portion is the heated billet placed inside the container and the ram is pressing the die towards the container. Then the extruded rod is coming in the opposite direction where the ram moves. So this portion is the extruded rod and again this is the die. The ram is placed on the die, and one of the disadvantage in this is this extruded rod may tends to bend due to the not providing a sufficient support during the operation. During the operation there is no relative motion between the billet and the container wall, friction is eliminated. This method is limited because of ram becomes weak and no support could be provided for the extruded part. Next, tube extrusion. Tube extrusion figure shows the same. This is the container, billet is placed inside, the ram is provided with a mandrel and which is pressed in the billet. In this way the mandrel is moving so that the tube extrusion is lie in the second figure. This is the billet, ram direction, and the mandrel is provided inside the ram so that the tubes are going to manufacture in this process. Impact extrusion. Hot metal sludges are placed in the solid die at a proper clearance and a ram punch is forced into the die, causing the metal to flow and takes the shape of the die. The force applied is of impact nature. This operation is essentially a cold working operation.
Further clarification, contact the Additional Secretary, State Board of Technical Education and Training, 7th floor, BRKR Bhavan, Tank Bund Road, Hyderabad 500063. Fax 040 322 0546.